So tell us a little about yourself. How many years have you been working in the industry? Is this your first game? You've been a long time in this industry. So what can you tell us about you?
It's interesting. I got my start about 10 years ago, actually, at this point, as an intern at PC Gamer magazine. And so at this point, I've actually been at Monolith for just over 5 years. I was actually there to help us work on Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor from the very beginning, when it was just this baby pet project that some of the studio was kind of helping develop. And as we kind of moved forward into Shadow of Mordor and developing the Nemesis system, I had the really good fortune of also helping contribute a lot to it in Shadow of Mordor. And so as we moved into Shadow of War and that development process, I got to work alongside the incredibly talented new writing team we have that's built up the entire story, that's gone through and made the collectibles so much better, that have developed the Nemesis system to become such a bigger and more integral system altogether, to make sure that you really have an important story every single time you go through, in addition to the big new epic one they've written. And then obviously too, at the same time, I've been the community manager the entire time as well, which has been an incredible process, getting to work so closely with such dedicated fans, especially people that are so interested in the Tolkien universe and the Tolkien legendarium, in addition to just the game we make and the Nemesis system and the combat and Talion and Celebrimbor and all the great little planets we've been able to put into it. So yeah, my career is longer than I've expected at this point, honestly.
Right. And talking about experiences that you have been playing the game, before us. Have you got like a personal event or experience that you can remember for these playthroughs? Like everybody has their own, water cooler story of, oh yeah, I found this orc that does this and that. We know that some of them are procedurally generated, they have some, but do you have like a personal favorite, something that you remember like, oh my God, this was awesome, this was funny, this was...
Yes, actually, so that's actually a really great question, and I'm going to steal a story of one of my coworkers, a guy named George. He's on our realization team. He is actually, if you watch a lot of the animations and mannerisms of our Uruks as they're kind of calling you out and trying to insult you, that's actually him in the mocap studio bringing these characters to life in the way that only George can. And so he had this really great story one day. I was just standing in the kitchen getting a cup of coffee, and he told me this amazing story about how there was this enemy war chief that he had drawn out, and he had brought his bodyguards with him, and he came out, and as it turns out, and when he saw you, he finally caught eyes with the Gravewalker, he had a fear of the Gravewalker. And so immediately he starts retreating. He's just got to get out of there. He wants nothing to do with you. But his bodyguard, as it turns out, was enraged by cowards, and immediately just shoves his pike through him and just throws him to the ground and murders him. And it was amazing hearing him tell this story to me, because he's been there since the very beginning seconds of Shadow of Mordor. He's seen the Nemesis system play out in so many countless ways over the many years of development that we've been building this thing. And just the excitement and joy and surprise he had, it was unlike anything I had ever even experienced myself. And we end up playing this game just about every single day in the studio. So that, to me, I'm sorry, George, I'm going to steal your story, but that's got to be my favorite one to this day.